here. Thank you for coming. I'm Arn Franzen, Project Manager with the Department of Public Space and Urban Forestry. I'm honored to be here with all of you today on this occasion. Today's date is May 22nd, 2023. And I want to welcome you. And I want to welcome you here to the ribbon cutting and celebration for the completion of the Healey Schoolyard and the new Joe Mackey Recreation Field. This project is a community advocacy success story with a long history. And there isn't enough time to relate that amazing story here, but I did want to make a point of saying thank you to everyone in the community who, over the years, have supported the Healey School and the greater Healey Mystic community. You know, everybody, please give yourself a pat on the back. We'll hear from some of those folks in just a minute, but before I turn the microphone over to Mayor Ballantyne and our other guests, I wanted to give Healey School Principal Dr. Mary Ellen Cobbs a chance to welcome you all to the school. Dr. Cobbs.
Good morning, everybody. Good, beautiful morning to you all. If I'm being forthright and honest, this is the second welcome to this field. We had a wonderful little field day yesterday with about 500 kids. And I can't tell you the pure joy and adoration that was flowing around yesterday. So in my conversations this morning, in meeting some of the members of the Mackey family, I want to welcome you to the Healey School, or back to the Healey School. I've done a great deal of reading about Mr. Mackey. I've talked to some people from Somerville, and of course had the good pleasure of speaking to his brother and his wife as well this morning. I see some beautiful grandchildren here who are very proud of their granddad because they were quick to tell me who they are and to whom they belong. So with that, I just wanted to share a couple of things. First, of course, my gratitude to everybody involved in this project. I speak to you on behalf of my students and my staff. You can see you are greeted by a bouncy house. This is the life of public school in May and June. We got a lot going on. But one thing that resonates with me is a history of public service and education within the Mackey family, and a particular commitment and devotion to the development of recreation, youth sports, and building youth leaders. That is what we are about in the Somerville Public Schools. That is definitely what we are about at the Healey School. So it's a pleasure to stand before you. I am of the belief that we are in the presence of the person we're dedicating today. So I wish him well. I wish his family well. And I thank you for your continued support and your continued service. It is my great pleasure and great honor to welcome the fine mayor of this city, a colleague of us in the Somerville Public School, and a real strong advocate for the children of Somerville. So with that, please welcome Mayor Ballantyne. Thank you, and enjoy this wonderful day.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you. I'm really thrilled to be here to celebrate the opening of the Healey School Play Yard and the new Joe Mackey Field. What better way to welcome the new field but on Field Day today? So we're wasting no time putting this space to good use. As many of you know, we've had several groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings as we work through all the phases of this project. But at last, here we are, the grand finale. Today, we celebrate the full vision come to life with this vibrant, renovated schoolyard, this fantastic new U12 field, a long-awaited, accessible connection between the Mystic housing community and the Healey School. Today, we also dedicate the field in honor of former City Alderman and State Representative Joseph Mackey for his years of service to the city. A lifelong Somerville resident, Joe was a father, a coach, a loyal friend, a tireless supporter of the Ward 4 community and the Somerville parks and open spaces. I'm honored that we have some of his family here today. Actually, I think a lot of family, which is wonderful, and loved ones, friends, to mark this occasion and to share a few words with us, including his wife, Paula, his children, Aaron, Christopher, and Alyssa, and his grandchildren, Mac, Merritt, Shannon, Grace, Dylan. Thank you all for being here. I didn't know Joe personally, but I'm hopeful that this is a space he'd be proud of. I certainly am. This is an exciting new era for the Healey School and the neighborhood. The updated schoolyard will support the development and well-being of our students and add much-needed recreational capacity to our city. The new space also addresses long-standing social and environmental inequities that were reinforced with the previous design. Not too long ago, this was the plot of old cracked asphalt with chain link fencing and no accessible connection to the Mystic housing. Now, this is a state-of-the-art schoolyard that encourages connection and play and exploration. This is the space worthy of our Healey students and staff, their families, and the neighborhood. Plus, it just really looks great. You know, I match with my green, and there's so much cool stuff here. I just want to share some of those elements. We have 90 new trees in the schoolyard and about 140 new trees overall. More permeable surfaces, new gardens and outdoor classrooms, native grasses and trees, shaded outdoor space for quiet relaxation, classes, recess, and lunchtime, basketball courts with adjustable height nets, an adult exercise area, and 5 exercise stations, several murals, and a new parking lot with rain gardens and EV charging station, improved drainage, and safe crosswalks. This project is a testament to a transformative power of thoughtful design and investment, especially for our youth. And it's been a community-driven process every step of the way. Projects like this simply could not happen with everyone who advocated for it, studied it, funded it, and built it, and got us to this moment. This also means something to me personal. I mean, my older daughter was a kindergartner here in 2002. She stayed for 6 years. The community here is incredible. We parent volunteers work to incorporate the Friends of the Healey, so I'm really happy to see that it continues. So thank you to the parents and the student body and the community for keeping the Friends of the Healey going, the Healey School, the PTA, and the greater Healey Mystic community. This started with your vision. Thank you for your imagination, insisting on a better future for our young people. I especially want to thank Ward 4 City Councilor Jesse Klingon. I remember sitting in the Committee on Housing and Community Development. I don't know, was that it was a number of years ago, at least 7 years ago, but you were just an incredible supporter, advocate, constantly talking about trying to get this going. Councilor at Large Jake Wilson, the entire city council. I would like to acknowledge, our former councilor at large, Mary Jo Rossetti. I see Mayor Brune in the audience, and Senator Jalen is here. Thank you. I also see former Ward 7 school committee member Carrie Norman was here. And, those are past attendants. I just want to try to get those who were working on this, long ago, and the current members. So thank you as well to the school committee chair and Ward 4 school committee member, Andre Green. You are also an incredible advocate. The full school committee. Can you just raise your hand, school committee members who are here? Eleanor Barish, Laura Patone. Thank you. The school department, including Superintendent Jeff Curley, former Superintendent Mary Skipper, Principal Mary Ellen Cobb, as well as all the Healey teachers and students. You know, it took a long time to get here, and with that, it just shows you as we acknowledge all these people that were involved to make this happen. So thank you. Also, the Community Preservation Committee for funding the master plan and design, and in doing so, getting this project off the ground. Thanks to the leadership of Joe Macaluso at the Somerville Housing Authority and his staff for cooperation and collaboration. And I'd like to recognize the City of Somerville's incredible, talented staff, compassionate public space and urban forestry team, Director Luisa Oliveira, right over here, Arn Franson over here, and I'm going to say this, the city staff, it's not just one department, it's lots of departments. So city staff who are here, can you raise your hand, please? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And finally, the people who took the plan and built it. So Warren Larson Landscape Architects, our general contractors, Classic Site Solutions, as well as the geotechnical and environmental engineers, Phil McPhail Associates. I'm looking forward to many beautiful days to come here at the Healey. This right here is a hard-won progress. Now it's time to enjoy it. Thank you. I'd like to introduce next up Councillor Ward 4, Jesse Klingon.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. What a beautiful morning this is. Wow. I mean, I look around at this schoolyard and, you know, it was a long time coming and many people thought that it wasn't going to happen at different times. It stalled, including during COVID, and former Mayor Curtatone and myself worked together to make this a reality with all of you, with the community, with the Friends of Healey, with the Healey PTA. And I'm just so excited to be here. Even though I see former truant officer Buddy Willie's here and former truant officer Rich Melillo is here, old friends of mine. I grew up in Somerville, and I also didn't know Joe Mackey personally, and I was never into politics as a kid, but I do remember seeing Mackey signs everywhere, and I said, who is this? Who's this Mackey guy? Who's Mackey? Must be good. There's signs everywhere, and I didn't realize how much I was benefiting from the work that he did in the community with the recreation programs and everything that he was doing for our youth. I had no idea, but now I do. And I'm really happy to dedicate this park to Joe, to Mr. Mackey, and what I want to say is, I want to recognize Mary Jo Rossetti, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her dogged determination to make sure that Mr. Mackey was recognized and that there was a place that kids could have fun and enjoy in the spirit of everything that Mr. Mackey stood for. And I just want to recognize Mary Jo. But yeah, so this is quite the accomplishment. It really is an important step in progress in terms of connecting neighborhoods. Now you can go with a wheelchair or with a carriage straight from this main Meacham Street area down to the boathouse. People from the Mystic View apartments can now come up. I don't know if anybody's familiar, but years ago there was this. There's a documentary called The Staircase, and there was a fight to get that staircase put in over there as a route because a young man had fallen down the side of the Slate Hill and was killed. And then through the advocacy of the folks in the Mystic View, they got that staircase put in. And since then, we've been missing an equitable way for people who can't make it up those stairs to get up here so they can enjoy this new space. So give yourselves a round of applause. I am just so excited to be part of this. I want to also mention, I think probably it was just an oversight, former Mayor Curtatone. Wasn't intentional. he couldn't be here today, and I know Representative Barber sends her regards as well. Everybody was, including Jake Wilson and Friends of Healey, were integral in bringing this to light. And Arn Franzen driving the neighbors crazy with all the trucks. They'll be happy to see this finally completed. But let's enjoy this beautiful day in the spirit of a beautiful man. And thank you all for coming out for this. With that, I want to introduce my counterpart on the school committee for Ward 4. He's also the chair of the school committee, Andre Green. Thank you.
So I think it's right and appropriate and fitting that this field be named after a lifelong public servant, because it is indicative of what is possible when community government really comes together and works for the common good. This project was complicated, to say the least. It required coordination from the school department, the city, the housing authority, the community. As a neighbor, the traffic was real. But when we all come together to do what's right for kids in the community, look around, you can see what's possible. We have here perhaps the most beautiful soccer field in the city, with views of the Mystic River, the city of Boston, really allowing the young people who will be playing on the space, including my daughter, to really understand what is beautiful and special about living in Somerville. And so I think it's only right and appropriate that we name this after someone who gave their life in pursuit of those values and those goals. I'm proud to be here as a school committee member. It's really easy for those of us who ran the last mile. We get to be the ones who come up here and give speeches, but it really was a relay effort, right? My first time in a meeting on this thing was 9 years ago now, with, I want to say, then freshman alderperson Ballantyne, activist Klingon, activist White, and I was just some guy in the streets. And when I came on 9 years ago, people have been working on this for years, if not decades. And so, I really want to make sure we understand how many people and how long people who worked to get us to this point, and make sure we give all those people who don't give to these speeches the credit and gratitude they deserve. And finally, I just want to say, how lucky are our kids? In a city where, yes, we have lots of playgrounds, lots of high-quality playgrounds, the residents of Ward 4 have long lacked a signature space like this. And I know that my daughter will be here all summer, playing with many of your kids and daughters, and really bringing together that unity that makes Somerville special. And I can't wait to see it in action. So thank you for all your work. Thank you for your gratitude. Thank you for your time. And just thank you for everything. Now I think I get to acknowledge, for one of the last few times, the current leader and brave title champion for our students, the current leader of Somerville Public Schools, Interim Superintendent Jeff Curley.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to start by giving a few thanks. Thanks to Arn Franzen, Louisa Oliveira, the city team that has really spearheaded this work, to Mayor Ballantyne, to our elected officials here that have kind of championed this over the years. I want to thank the design and architecture, the construction team that brought this project to bear and made sure that it was done on time and within budget. This is an incredible space for our students and for our community. I also want to deeply thank Dr. Cobbs, the Healey families here today, the community folks that have advocated for this space to be transformed and really pushed to make sure that we delivered on this incredible project for Somerville. I want to thank our educators and our students who lived through all of this construction and disruption and now get to bear the fruits and the incredible benefits of this field and this playground and this beautiful space. This used to be asphalt everywhere. right? And it has been transformed into an incredible green, usable space for all of us to enjoy. And I want to thank the Mackey family. While I didn't know Joe Mackey personally, his legacy is clear in the turnout of folks here today, and the legacy of family that have dedicated themselves to our community, to his wife Paula and his daughter Alyssa, who teaches where my kids go at the West Somerville Neighborhood School. It's incredible what one person can do, not just for a community, but for future generations in a community. And I think, and I really hope that this space embodies his spirit. You know, it is a space that fosters community, that we will be developing athletics, that will be kind of building connection across the city of Somerville, in the heart of the city of Somerville. And it seems like all of the things that I think your husband and your dad really embodied. I know that our students are going to love it. Maybe a few have already snuck out and given it a little test run. And later this afternoon, the middle schoolers are going to be flooding this space and hopefully playing quite a bit of soccer. So with that, I have the pleasure of turning it over to another distinguished member of our community, someone who's given really their life to supporting our city, the former city councilor, Mary Jo Rossetti. Thank you so much.
I wore my red and blue, Joe. I thought I'd be speaking to some students here today, so I have put some remarks together. I wanted to tell them that Joe Mackey was you. He was the son of two public school teachers. Joe was born and raised in Somerville. He attended our schools, was a three-sport all-scholastic athlete who went on to Harvard University and Virginia Law School. As his wife Paula recently reminded me, he never forgot where he came from. His heart and commitment to Somerville was steadfast. Given his successful education and career, the sky was the limit for him. However, Joe chose to stay here in his home community where he wanted to give back. Paula recalls him giving out ice cream at the Mystic housing area when his own family was vacationing on the Cape one summer. Joe served as our Ward 4 alderman from 1980 to 1985, followed by his leadership as our state rep 1985 to 1990. Former Mayor Dorothy Kelly Gay once said, his time in the legislature was marked by attention to constituent services and progressive policies. In 1990, Joe unsuccessfully challenged former Attorney General Tom Riley for the position of Middlesex District Attorney. At that time, Assistant United States Attorney Bob Kilmartin, a colonel in the United States Marine Corps, was quoted, "Joe touched lives and inspired people well beyond Somerville's borders. He may have lost this battle, but Joe won the war. He was a man of character and integrity who participated in the process and then moved on to a productive life as a father, a coach, an attorney, and a loyal friend." Joe's loss in that election was, however, yet again our community's gain. He went back to practicing law, and soon thereafter, my own personal memory of Joe Mackey began as I witnessed his availability to multiple newly forming youth groups, whatever the need. Joe Mackey was a critical volunteer who offered his legal expertise working pro bono to set up many nonprofit groups. He was one of the founding members of our still today Somerville High School Scholarship Foundation, the Dreams for Youth Foundation, multiple boys and girls sports programs such as the Somerville Pride basketball. The pamphlet at Joe's funeral service on the front cover displayed Joe with a big smile with a stream of raffle tickets hanging from his hands. He was selling them during a community event. That was Joe. Another great Somerville volunteer, Mike Foster, once said, "People who did not know him will never know the degree of goodwill and charity that he bestowed on others. When you were around Joe, somehow he made you a better person." Some other notable accomplishments in Joe Mackey's life: the Massachusetts Bar Association Legislator of the Year, the Massachusetts Victim and Witness Assistance Board Legislator of the Year, induction into the Boston Park League Hall of Fame for his role, a prestigious league for baseball. And I want to recognize Joe's coach, who is here today, sitting in the back row here. Thank you, Coach, for being here. During his funeral in January 2007, former Mayor Joe Curtatone made a commitment to build a park in his honor. So here we are today, at long last, to celebrate Joe Mackey. As for myself, in 2014, when elected to serve as one of the aldermen at large, my very first board order was this: that the dedication committee provide the Board of Aldermen with a status report of the park dedication in the name of Joseph Mackey, of my very first board order. A few years ago, the city created a memorialization committee. I represented my colleagues on the city council as I served on this new committee. Can you guess what my first order of business was? So now it is with extreme honor to welcome Alyssa, Joe and Paula's youngest, one of our very own school teachers here in our system. Alyssa.
Thank you, Mary Jo, both for your kind words today and for your longtime effort to make this park and this dedication a reality. And thank you to everyone else who had a hand in this honor. My father valued hard work and determination, and yours does not go unnoticed. My name is Alyssa Mackey, and I am Joe Mackey's youngest child. I would like to say a few words about what this space means on behalf of my mom, Paula, my siblings, Chris and Aaron, my uncle, Stephen, the rest of our family, as well as the many dear friends, his best friends, who are here and who are and always have been his and our family. First, I would just like to say that I think it's perfect that we are all, for a few minutes this morning, standing around a park for my dad, as he spent truly countless hours standing around fields, diamonds, and courts for us. It was not a secret that our dad loved his community. He grew up in this neighborhood, and he had unwavering Somerville pride. He told us stories about running through these streets before Pop Warner weigh-ins in an effort to cut weight, and about being outside until dark with his siblings and friends. It was also not a secret that our dad loved and believed in the young people that made and continue to make Somerville what it is. He saw their potential, he appreciated their contributions, and he was genuinely impressed by them. He even poached some of your kids from surrounding districts to improve our schools and our sports teams. So thank you. My dad knew that families come together in lots of different ways, and he fought for children and families to have opportunities to belong, to fully participate, and to thrive in this community. Regardless of its name, he would be so thrilled to have another field, this beautiful field, to aid in that goal. We are beyond touched that my father's grandchildren, Joseph, Mac, Mairead, Shannon, Grace, and Dylan, and those who have yet to join us, will have a chance to play in their grandpa's park alongside the kids of the Healey School and the surrounding neighborhoods and all the generations of Somerville kids to come. We love you, Dad. Let the games begin.
The mayor would like to present to the family a citation. I will read it for her. Be it hereby known to all that Her Honor the Mayor wishes to acknowledge Joseph Mackey in appreciation for his enormous contribution to the city of Somerville. A lifelong Somerville resident, Joe was a father, a coach, a loyal friend, and a tireless supporter of the Ward 4 community. His years of service included his time as a former city alderman and state representative. The memory of him lives on in his wife Paula and his children Erin, Christopher, Alyssa, and his grandchildren Mac. I'm going to mispronounce Mairead. My father will kill me. Shannon, Grace, and Dylan. Joseph exemplified the very best of what Somerville produces in its citizens, and for what we are honored to dedicate the field in his name. Given this 26th day of May 2023, signed by Her Honor Mayor Katiana Ballantyne.
Everybody, can we have a round of applause for the Mackey family? We're going to get on to the official ribbon cutting in just a minute, but I want to take just another minute to recognize the fabulous team of people who actually designed and built the greater Healey Schoolyard space. So, folks, when I read your names, please raise your hand, give people a chance to recognize you and see you. Our design team from Warner Larson Landscape Architects, they've been invested in this project for years. President David Warner. David, can you raise your hand a little higher? Thank you. Project manager, Emily Hunt. And this space is actually a vision that Warner Larson imagined, but Samir Boite is actually the key visionary member of the team, and I want to call out Samir. And while I'm not sure that they're present, we had a great geotechnical and environmental engineering company from McPhail Associates. Those people were Matt Wilson. Matt, you are here. There you are. William Burns. Right. And Eric Hines. Thank you, guys. And finally, the people who actually were here on a day-to-day basis and building this place every day with incredible attention to detail. Our construction team from Classic Site Solutions. Classic is owned and operated by Cheryl Sadie. Cheryl, where are you? Cheryl, raise your hand again, please. Thank you. And they have a phenomenal construction team led by project manager Jeff Burke. Thank you, Jeff. Site supervisor Bruce Zamora, the tall guy in back. And foreman Ben LePage. I don't know that Ben is here or not. And there was actually, and then obviously great support from their office staff as well, Talia and Nick. Lastly, just before we get to the ribbon cutting, I want to take just a minute to thank the city staff as well. We had great support from our team within the Department of Public Space and Urban Forestry, just a phenomenal team effort on this project. And there were several other city departments which collaborated with us and partnered with us on many of the details, and I wanted to make sure that they are acknowledged as well. They are traffic and parking, which was just an incredible partnership in helping us make this project happen. There were so many, mobility issues that traffic and parking helped us to solve. The engineering department, the water and sewer department, the Department of Public Works, and the building department. So a round of applause for all those folks, please. Thank you very much. And I think that I'd like to, shall we move on to the next step? Shall we have a ribbon cutting? Yeah. All right.
I'm going to count